All right, folks, this is April 7th, the day before the great American eclipse, or the second half of it anyway. Let's see. As I got up on the screen here, the first, you see the retard on the left, that's our Secretary of State, has said they would do what they said all before. We said, we're not going to do it, Russia. We're not going to let Ukraine or all the countries that border Russia will not be in NATO. Here he is saying, okay, now you're going to be in NATO. And they're going to do this probably before Trump gets in. I'm going to expand on Trump here in a minute. This is going to be really good. So let's see if I can get it to play here. Back it up. Come on. All right, let me start it.
Way for Ukraine moving forward. We've done a lot of work on that over the last couple of days.
Wait a minute, did it? Here we go.
Of NATO. Our purpose at the summit is to help build a bridge.
Yep, there he is. We're gonna let him into NATO. We're on our way to World War III. Now, the Ukraine thing is very, very possibly going to get us nuked. At least we're going to find out if an EMP works. So, yeah, we're going to find out here. And, let's not forget, yesterday I mentioned the bombing in Iran. Well, let me get rid of this pop-up stuff. I hate pop-ups. What? I never buy anything off of pop-up, and nobody else should either. Israel strike on consulate in Syria kills 2 generals and 5 other officers. Iranian. Now, after we killed that general, when Trump was in there, Soleimani, Iran shot off a barrage of missiles at our base. Now, Israel just killed 7 of their people, their top leaders. And it was a building right in between the Canadian embassy and the Iranian embassy. So that was some pretty surgical strike right there. Very impressive. Because the Iranian embassy is still standing, and right beside of it is the Canadian embassy, and they're both still standing, but the Iranian one, where they were having their meeting at, their little offshoot office building, is gone. So that was some pretty precision munitions they used there. Which brings another thing. In Gaza, they keep saying, well, Israel's involved in genocide in Gaza. You know what? If Israel really was doing genocide in Gaza, Gaza would already be gone. Because, look, it's only a little bitty area. If Israel was just going in there willy-nilly and bulldozing the whole place, the situation in Gaza would be over with. Everybody in there would be dead. It'd be over with. There'd be no whining and crying. It would be gone already. It would have been gone within a month. Gaza would be over with. But they're trying to be surgical in their strikes, and they're taking their time. So anyway, no, there's no genocide going on in Gaza. Okay, for tomorrow, after the eclipse, I just remembered there's one more thing happening tomorrow. The movie for the next American Civil War is coming out. It's being released on the 8th tomorrow. So the next American Civil War is coming out. Which brought to mind to me is what would happen. Now, we know the liberals always accuse the right of what they are planning on doing. So they've been hollering insurrection, insurrection, insurrection. Now, just bear with me. This is just a hypothesis. Let's say in the November election, Trump wins because the Republicans are going to do the exact same thing that the Democrats did in the last one. Everywhere there's mail-in ballot, anywhere that the state allows ballot harvesting, the Republicans are also going to go out and harvest ballots. So we're going to do we're going to take a thing out of their playbook, and we're going to do the same thing. California, Michigan, all them states that allow ballot harvesting, Republicans are going to do the same exact thing. Everywhere it's legal, we got to do the exact same thing. So Trump wins, all right? Come January, when it's time to, for Trump to take office again, well, Biden's not going to leave. He's going to do what they accused Trump of doing. He is going to actually do. He's going to refuse to leave, or the people in power. I wouldn't say Biden. I don't think he knows what time of day it is, but the people in power are going to refuse to leave. That would cause the next American Civil War. Because Trump get elected, and even better yet, let's go worst case scenario. Trump is elected with Vivek Ramaswamy as the vice president, because then the deep state people know that even if they assassinate Trump, Ramaswamy is even smarter than Trump. He is a CEO. The guy has an eidetic memory, which means a photographic memory. This guy is a genius level. I mean, IQ north of 130. That would save Trump. They would not dare kill Trump if Vivek was the vice president. Because that would be, that'd be like jumping from the frying pan into the fire. So my best guess is when Trump is reelected, the liberals will refuse to leave office. They will come up with all kinds of court nonsense. There really will be an insurrection. There will be an armed insurrection when the Congress starts counting those votes. I guess it'll be on January 6th of 2025. That's when we would have the real American Civil War. And that would allow Bible prophecy to continue in the Middle East. Because we'd be over here fighting amongst ourselves, and that would take the United States out of the picture for at least 7 years. So we're talking about, that would just usher in the tribulations. Oh, and over there in Israel right now, they imported a bunch of red heifers from Texas, supposed to be without blemish, perfect specimens. So I'm also watching for sometime between the new moon and the full moon of Passover for them to slaughter or sacrifice those one or more of those red heifers. So I'm watching for that. That's another thing leading into prophecy. If these two things I just mentioned at the beginning of the video do not result in us getting into a nuclear war before Election Day, so they can call off the elections, then Trump's going to win, and the liberals or the deep state will not want to leave office. They'll want to keep their puppet Biden in there, and that would usher in the next American Civil War. So either way, tomorrow is the release of the movie, and as you can see, the U.S. Secretary of State, they've broke our treaty with Russia and all like that. They've come out in public and said, yes, we're lobbying to have the Ukraine in NATO, which is the red line that Putin drew in the sand. That was his red line. So we're going to poke a bear that has 1,400 nuclear weapons pointed at us. So at the very least, I dare say he's going to test out an EMP on somebody. It might be Europe first. It might be us first. But this moron, poo-poo for brains, you can see him looking in that picture. He looks like he's not operating on all cylinders. uh, yeah. So between that and we got World War III. This is the beginning of World War III, and the eclipse hasn't even started yet.